Hi, I'm Brian Neiman, Senior Vice President of Internal Audit here at Bon Secours Health System. Like all of us here at Bon Secours Health System, we're here to provide good help. How Internal Audit provides good help is to provide an independent assessment of controls throughout this health system. But what does that mean? It sounds pretty technical, I know. We in Internal Audit provide a point of view. Our point of view is based on a good understanding of organizational risk and, equally important, how well we as a system manage those risks. But why do risks matter? I think we can all appreciate how complex our industry is. And in fact, it's getting more complex each and every day. That complexity transcends our health system as well. So good controls are really a hallmark of Bon Secours Health System. The internal audit team works really hard to make sure that we continue to evaluate the controls in our ministry to promote not only good help, but also support the SQP for the long haul. So the value we offer in internal audit is to help partnering with you, understanding not only those risks, but how well we manage those risks. There are many, many examples of how we do this work each day. There's a lot I can say about the value we provide to the organization, but we thought it might be helpful for you to hear from others on how we serve them each and every day, to not only help the ministry, but help them in their roles they serve for Bon Secours Health System.
Internal audit is one of the tools that we have to really help us determine where there is risk in the organization.
In fact, internal audit is a really great partner for the Office of Research.
We often use internal audit for external resources if we're trying to obtain audit report from the outside, or we want guidance from interaction with new partners within the organization as we start to contract outside of Bon Secours, and they've provided us with assistance in that fashion.
I think most importantly is their ability to sort of look into a part of our operation to help us decide whether there's some things we need to change, some ways we can be more efficient and effective, whether we have lived up to our obligations.
What happens when I call upon internal audit for advisory services is I'm trying to get to the root cause. Something happened to cause me to ask for help.
We go where the evidence leads us without emotion, without preconception, without preconceived notions. And like that radio show, All Things Considered, really ascertain what the facts are.
I think first of all, as I said, they bring their content expertise and their auditing skill sets and experiences with doing this over and over. I think second is, as opposed to going outside the system to hire a consultant firm, if I can ask the same questions to somebody inside of Bon Secours, I can do it cheaper, I can do it faster, and I can do it for someone I can pick up the phone and call and say, well, I didn't quite understand that, would you have a look at this? And it doesn't always start out at several $100s per hour.
The reason we audit is to make sure there's not an issue, and if there is an issue, to get it resolved. Audit is often called in by leadership, but it really can be called in by anybody for any reason. And they're here to help us resolve issues. And so I know many people think of internal audit, oh, something bad must be going on, but that's really not the case at all.
What are you afraid of? I know that sometimes people think it's going to be additional work, and it is a little bit for you to pull the information, but that's not what you're being afraid of. You're afraid that they're actually going to bring to light the imperfections that you might not want to see. The truth is, we should see those imperfections and see them as an opportunity.
When we go into an investigation, we really are hoping not to find any issues, to really confirm that judgments are being made properly, that people are honoring the trust that we place in them, that they're following appropriate policy and process. So we go in hoping that everything will be kosher, that everything will be proper. But as I said at the outset, we follow wherever the facts lead. And if the facts lead us to change our judgment, then that's what we really follow.
Internal audit is not the bad guy. I would much rather on any day have internal audit, Bon Secours employees looking at our internal processes and helping us to do better than not going that approach and having an external agency come in and do a full-fledged audit, which is far more intrusive, expensive, and problematic.
I would say what the audit group does when they come in to do an audit is they really attempt to have an open, honest discussion with everybody involved, whether it's department heads, physicians, and they're having those discussions not to get anyone in trouble or to point fingers, but to point out process issues that might need to be fixed.
They're part of the Bon Secours family. They have the relationships to get to the real facts. And you know, unlike many external vendors, when they do a piece of work for you, they'll help you if you need them again, but they're not trying to only give you 90% of it so they can sell you the next piece of work. And I think that's what I like about them, and you can be totally transparent with them.
I would highly recommend internal audit early on in any endeavor that you're pursuing within Bon Secours. I would recommend them even more if you're pursuing an endeavor outside of Bon Secours as well, to protect the greater interests of the organization.
Take the words internal audit and cover them up and think about advisory services. We buy them externally from multiple places and asked, are there a set of skills and people who have a vested interest in our company's future who can bring you the same services that you would buy from an external consultant? If you take away the words internal audit, you'll get incredible service from it.
You can tell I think highly of our internal audit services. The advisory services, to me, are the way that you don't have to fear when they walk in the door.